Olugbenga Obadina, that problem is clear. Energy, mobility, and the future of sustainable infrastructure in Africa. As founder, chairman, and chief executive officer of Metropolitan Electric Limited, he is helping to drive a new vision for transportation, cleaner, smarter, and more sustainable mobility for African cities. Through his leadership in electric mobility and clean energy enterprise, he represents the courage to build ahead of the market, to see the future before it becomes obvious, and to turn ideas into systems that can serve people at scale. At GiNN 5.0, we welcome a builder of tomorrow's infrastructure, a voice in Africa's energy transition, a leader shaping the next chapter of sustainable movement. Ladies and gentlemen, Olugbenga Obadina!
Thank you. I wasn't sure that was talking about me, but I'll take it. Unfortunately, I'm not as talented as the young men and women that have been on the stage and that are still coming on the stage as well. But I've just come here to have a word with you. I want to speak to you quickly so that you can continue having fun. But I want to speak to you quickly about how to distinguish yourself in a world full of distractions. Good afternoon, everyone. What you are giving me at the moment is one of the most expensive things in the world. It's not your time, it's not your money, and it's not your applause, it's your attention. Every brand wants it. Every politician, every platform, everybody wants your attention. And that's why when we speak on attention, we say you pay it. Because indeed, attention is an investment. That's why people say pay attention. Every algorithm behind all the things you do online is designed to capture your attention. They are designed to study it. They are designed to redirect it, and ultimately, they are designed to monetize it. But I came to ask you one question. While everybody is fighting for your attention, who is fighting for your future? Last year, I spoke here at this same event about the attention economy. I said attention has become one of the largest economies in the world. This year, I want to go deeper. Attention is no longer just an economy. It's a battlefield, it's a currency, it's identity, and it's power. Let me say that again. Attention is ultimately power. But it can only be power if you know how to master and govern it. Some people are products, some people are users, but some people are also builders. You need to decide early what you want to be. We are gathered here around the powerful idea, the Nigerian spirit. The Nigerian spirit is that refusal to die. It is that energy that says, even if there is no road, we will create movement. It is that Nigerian instinct that says, no matter how hard it gets, we move. But today I want to say something uncomfortable. Spirit is not enough. And I'm sorry to say, talent is not enough as well. Energy is not enough, vibes are not enough, even intelligence is not enough. Because in a world of endless distractions, the future will not belong to the most talented people. The future will belong to the most attentive people. Nigeria does not lack talent. Nigeria does not lack energy. We don't lack noise. Nigeria lacks organized attention. Talent without attention will produce potential. But when it meets with attention, it produces power. So my message is simple. Guard your attention, govern your attention, and grow your attention. Give your attention only to what deserves your future. Because your attention is not just what you look at, it's what you become ultimately. If you give your attention to fear for too long, fear becomes your personality. If you give it to gossip for too long, it becomes your intelligence. If you give your attention to comparison long enough, comparison becomes your prison. But if you give your attention to skills long enough, skills will become your advantage. I'm sorry. Can I do this? Sorry. If I can take a break and get my jacket on. Sorry about that. It's a bit hot in here. So, like I said, Nigeria does not lack talent. We don't lack energy and we don't lack noise. What we lack is organized attention. So my message is simple. I said, guard your attention, govern your attention, grow your attention, give your attention only to those things that deserves your future. If you give attention to skills enough, skills becomes your advantage. If you give attention to excellence long enough, excellence becomes your identity. If you give attention to serious problem solving long enough, problem solving becomes your power. Your life will eventually move in the direction of your most repeated attention. So the question is not what do you want? The real question is what keeps getting your attention. Let me be clear. I'm not here to attack social media. I'm not here to attack technology. And I'm not here to tell you to throw away your phones. That would be lazy thinking. The phone is not the problem. A phone in the hand of a person is a tool. A phone in the hand of a distracted person is a remote control operated by strangers. The problem is not that you are online. The problem is that too many people are online without assignment, without agenda, and without ambition. When you are online without an assignment, every trend becomes your master. Every notification becomes your instruction. And every controversy becomes your classroom. Every influencer becomes your prophet. But the algorithm does not know your destiny. It does not know your mother's prayers. Neither does it know the sacrifices that brought you to where you are. The algorithm, however, does not hate you. It simply has no responsibility for your future. The genius of the attention economy is that it does not need you to be foolish. It only needs you to be available. You can be brilliant and distracted. You can be talented and distracted. You can be educated and distracted. You can be a Nigerian full of fire but still distracted. And a distracted young person is not harmless. A distracted young person is a nation losing capacity in real time. That is why attention is not a small matter. It's a nation-building material. If you remember nothing else today, remember this. Attention becomes skill. Skill becomes value. Value becomes power. That is how you distinguish yourself. Not by shouting, not by copying, not by begging for attention, not by performing success. You distinguish yourself by becoming valuable in a specific way. There are too many people trying to be seen. There are not enough people trying to be useful. So ask yourself, what problem am I solving? What skill am I building? What evidence am I creating? What will my name mean in 5 years? Reputation is not what you call yourself. Reputation is what you repeatedly work and teach people to expect from you. Build evidence until opportunity starts looking for you. This is not a theory for me. In my work at Metropolitan Electric, I've seen what happens when young Nigerians give disciplined attention to a problem that matters. We had 15 young engineers 2 years ago, most of whom finished from this institution. They started as interns. They entered a sector that was very new, uncertain, and not clearly understood in our environment: electric vehicles, high voltage batteries, charging stations, diagnostics, and maintenance. They did not enter because the path was obvious. They entered because the problem was real. Nigerians were suffering from rising fuel prices. Families were adjusting. Businesses were struggling. Transport costs were rising, and these young engineers decided to learn something difficult. They chose to build competence before applause. They chose to pay attention to a solution Nigeria would need. Today, those interns are no longer just interns. They have become serious EV technicians, high voltage battery specialists, and EV charging station engineers. They are part of a new technical generation emerging from Nigeria. I say that not as an advert, I say it as an example. Attention turns uncertainty into competence. Attention turns interns into experts. Attention turns national plan into national possibilities. Every generation must choose the problems it will give disciplined attention to. Some will choose energy, agriculture, education, healthcare, technology, music, whatever. Some will choose mobility, but whatever your field is, choose something real. Because a generation that only trends will be forgotten. A generation that builds will be remembered. So how do you start? I want to challenge you. For the next 90 days, choose one serious thing. One skill, one project, one problem, one body of knowledge, one business idea, one creative discipline, one public proof of work, and give it disciplined attention. Not casual attention, not leftover attention, not when I feel like attention. Disciplined attention. A scattered year can pass and leave you with nothing, but a focused quarter can produce evidence. There comes a time in every serious life when you must stop being available for everything. You cannot answer every notification and answer your calling at the same time. You cannot chase every trend and build a timeless life. You cannot be everywhere and become somebody. Young Nigerians, your attention is now a national asset. If it is captured by gossip, betting, outrage, division, empty entertainment, and imported inferiority, Nigeria will bleed capacity. If it is organized around learning, enterprise, technology, agriculture, governance, mobility, creative sector, education, healthcare, Nigeria will rise in ways the world is not prepared for. So I leave you with this charge. Do not become raw material. Do not let your mind become a mining site for people who do not care about your destiny. Do not let your emotions become fuel for people who profit from your confusion. Do not let your future be auctioned in notifications, trends, gossip, fear, envy, and endless scrolling. You were not born merely to consume. You were not educated merely to complain. You are not gifted merely to entertain. You are not Nigerian merely to survive. You were born to build. You were born to contribute. You were born to shape outcomes. You were born to carry fire and give it form. If you do not choose your focus, the world will choose your distraction for you. If you do not govern your attention, someone else will govern your future. But if you learn to command your attention, you will command your growth. If you command your growth, you will command your value. If you command your value, you will command opportunity. And if enough young Nigerians command their attention, this generation will command the future. The future will not belong to the most distracted generation in Nigerian history. It will belong to the generation that learns to command its attention and then uses that attention to command the future. Young Nigerians, guard your attention, govern your attention, grow your attention, give your attention to what deserves your future. Because the world is watching, Nigeria is waiting, and your destiny is calling. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Olugbenga Obadina. A round of applause for him.
Thank you very
sir.
much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
As I was saying, you are born to win. I just remember Burna Boy.
What is your problem?
You've not heard that song?
No.
You are born to be great. Born winner. Oh. It's not testimony of it. Abi, DJ, play it now. You hear Mr. Olugbenga's voice. I'm not lying. I'm not. DJ, play Born Winner, Burna Boy. You will hear Mr. Olugbenga's voice. Should we bet it?
Mr. Olugbenga is inside Burna Boy's song.
You will hear it now.
Wow.
Okay. We'll come back to it. When you find it, let me know.
So you don't have talent. You want to add line to it.
Hey, God do.
Just look at
my
that.
people, Ijebu people, what did I do?
No talent. You are still lying.
What did I do?
You are gone.